Hi there, everyone. I'm JJ Ramberg, and welcome to Your Business, the show that provides you tips and advice to help your business grow. Some companies have to look far and wide to find the perfect niche for their brand. But if you listen carefully to the customers you already have, you might discover that your niche has already found you.
How'd that feel? How'd that feel? Did that feel good? Did that feel good? Did that feel good? Look, read it, read it, read it.
Killing aliens.
That's right, I just pwned you.
And killing time. To these suburban Miami kids, it's just called hanging out. But to savvy marketers, it's a multi-billion-dollar entertainment niche with revenues that rival Hollywood.
I think everyone thinks it's the pimply-faced 15-year-old in the basement, and that's not really true. You know, gaming has definitely developed a bit more of a cachet these days, that it's a bit more hip and a bit more cool than it was. But I don't think people realize how big the gaming market is. It's much bigger than Hollywood.
And neither did Hobie Bupert, at first.
We got checks.
He's the owner of Miami-based Guarana, an independent bottled beverage company. They make the high-caffeine drink Bawls Guarana.
Stay up! Drink Bawls!
He says when they started up, he just never paid attention to video gamers.
We were still trying to find our niche, and then luckily the gamers came along, and really they came to us. You know, what happened was very early on, some gamers had gotten a hold of the product, and they started requesting it for these LAN parties, and I have to admit, I didn't know what a LAN party was when we started.
Today, Bupert is very familiar with video gaming LAN, or local area network parties, where gamers link their PCs together and play.
But when they came to us and said that they were interested in the product, it seemed like a good fit, and I was very intrigued that this group was so interested in our product. So we really, took advantage of that and really got involved and started sponsoring LAN parties, and today we're the largest sponsor of LAN parties in the U.S.
Anybody want one? They're free. For free, man.
They're now a central element to marketing Bawls.
And so as you can see all across the country, these are the major events that we have coming up throughout the year.
Breaking through the $70 billion soft drink industry can seem daunting for an unknown independent. But being adopted by a niche market of loyal followers can change that equation. And loyal they are.
You're gonna be walking like a robot.
I'm familiar.
Here you go. Now you got hugged by a representative.
Because we're not forcing anyone to do anything, and we're not coming in and asking to be a part of it.
The manager is really nice to us, and
Danny's also.
So we're just returning the favor.
It was their idea to tape it to their bodies. It was their idea to run around the mall. I mean, and I'm sure if I told them, I was like, you need to tape this to your body, you need to run around the mall, they'd never do that, and I wouldn't expect them to.
This kind of consumer devotion is what gives the Bawls brand its buzz.
Activity like this gives our brand credibility, because they're looking at it, they're like, okay, if these people are drinking, they're using it to stay up, and they're using it to have fun, then there must be something to it, because they're not paid spokespeople, they're actual consumers who are out there promoting it.
And the Bawls brand of body humor buzzes them right back.
Actually, it's funny, the kids just start calling, and they just start calling, and they say, please put me on hold, please put me on hold.
He's got you.
Buy the Balls!
She's got you.
Buy the Balls!
They've got you.
Buy the Balls! Whoever thought I'd want blue balls?
I'll take two.
We'll put them on hold, and then they just listen to it for a while until they hang up.
But to grow beyond the brand, Bupert needs to look beyond the gamers. But it's the gamers who've shown him the way to expand.
I mean, these were, gamers who we sponsored maybe their LAN party, and then they said, oh, well, I have a paintball team, and we'd love it if Bawls get involved.
Initially, he says, he didn't really get it.
At first, we just sort of blew it off. We're like, oh, paintball, we don't know anything. Is paintball really that big? And then when we found that there was really no other beverage like ours involved, it just seemed like a great opportunity.
Following the lifestyle interests of the gamers is leading Bawls towards bigger markets and bigger payoffs.
Well, that was when we first got approved for Target for sale. Then we were initially approved into Super Target, so that's when we started with them.
You drive me crazy, goodness grief, all the
Finding a niche market to sell to can be profitable, but how do you find that market? Let's turn to this week's board of directors to ask them. Matthew Regas is the president of the self-titled brand strategy consultancy firm in Florida, and he's also the author of the book, The Power of Cult Branding. And joining me here on the set, Lawrence Gelbert is an instructor of entrepreneurship at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. And Rod Kurtz joins us again. He's a senior editor at Inc. magazine. Hi there, everyone.
How are you?
Thanks for joining us. All right, Matt, let's start with you. What I found so interesting about this piece is that if they had gone out to try and target that market, it may not have worked because it wouldn't have been quite as cool if they had tried to do it. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's really an amazing thing that this is a great example of a company who was truly open-minded to customers that actually came to them. I mean, what a great problem to have. They actually had people that were so excited and enthused about this energy drink that they were coming to them and saying, look, we're into your product, please sponsor us. I mean, that's a great problem to have.
But is the lesson that we get out of this then, don't try and target someone, just listen to see who's biting?
Well, you know what, I think it's a little too easy to say that we should just sit there and just listen and not target, because the reality is that unfortunately, you know, not every company has the experience of customers just beating down their door, where they have the opportunity to just preach towards the choir and then turn those people in their choir into really brand evangelists for them. So you do have to do a great job of listening and seeing really what's out there, but at the same time you should go forward with more of a traditional marketing plan where you are trying to target some customers off the bat.
What I loved, I'm going to turn to the guys at the table here, what I loved about this is that he got his customers to be true evangelists. How do you get this to happen?
You get that by making them feel like valued insiders. That's what you want to do, and that's what happens with these people. They feel really committed to the company and the products, and they become valued insiders, and they become part of your brand.
Okay, so how do you make them feel like a valued insider?
Well, you know, I've said this on the show before, give people a soapbox. They want to be heard, and I think with the web and everything else, there's so many ways for customers to get involved now. And I mean, how many companies out there would kill to have their customers actually volunteer to wear a sandwich board? I mean, it sounds crazy. And, you know, in terms of looking at, you know, where do they go from here, I noticed in the piece that one of the kids was carrying a skateboard. You know, maybe you go after skateboarders next. You've got the video gamers, the paintball people. You want to look for that natural extension, and you don't want to take it too far because you constrain the brand.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask, and I'm going to turn to you, Matt, since you talk about cult branding. What happens when you grow your company too much? And, you know, he's in Target now. What happens? He's in Walmart, and it's not so cool anymore.
Exactly. You know, one of the catch-22s, obviously, with a cult brand or a niche brand is, you know, part of really what gets that passion and loyalty and gets a customer base excited is there is some sort of a uniqueness and almost an exclusivity to it. You know, the reality is that Bawls is an alternative to maybe a larger brand like Red Bull. And so that's sort of the trade-off that you make when you're a niche brand. There are, I think, some difficulties and realities about how quickly you can expand and what markets you can expand to. The caveat, I would say, though, is you can build a fantastic business just being a niche brand. I mean, no longer should we think of niche brands as you're being pigeonholed and you're going to keep just being the small business, but you have the opportunity to really be and grow into a large size scale business today.
I suspect the other thing that you could do is have two brand names. So under the same company have Bawls and then something else, Bawls 2. Not that, but brackets, yeah. But something, right?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, in a way, it's almost like you want to think of it as same-store sales, that instead of targeting new customers, you want to get the same customers buying new things. So maybe you extend the Bawls brand, or like you say, you come out with a different label that, you know, the Bawls core audience doesn't necessarily know that it's connected in any way.
All right, we're going to have to wrap it up there. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. It was great having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.